Jurong Health Campus was at the forefront in this fight against COVID-19. All of our staff were involved in this fight, ranging from our nurses, allied health staff, doctors, all the way to human resource, materials management department, and even clinical education office, and many more. Our efforts contributed to flattening of the curve. This video is a tribute to all staff in Jurong Health Campus. It showcases what our staff went through in the course of this pandemic. Please sit back and enjoy.
What is your funniest moment while at work during the COVID-19 period?
Okay, at the first time, we really scared. We don't know how to face all these things. So we do have the doctor really don't want to enter the room. Then doctor also scared, nurse, can we just use the intercom to communicate with the patient? Because we totally really don't want to go into the patient's room. But too bad, the frontliner, we need to go in lah.
Yeah, because the PPE, actually we need to wear the full PPE with the face shield, everything. Even our appearance also is quite funny. I don't know how the patient feel when they looking at us. And then the first time when communicate with patient also a bit scary because don't know the COVID seriousness that time. It's really scary to handle this thing.
I didn't really have a funniest moment, but I was shocked and taken back when I was posted to COVID pandemic ward ICU Port 5. Every day, actually we have a dirty team, but then we were shuffled. Every day some nurses get to go Port 5, some nurses get to stay in Port 1, Port 2. So I was wondering, why am I always in Port 5? So that is the thing.
For me, I do not have specific funniest moment, but I actually enjoy that pandemic working with my colleagues in Port 5 and going to NCID deployment. Yeah, it's actually quite exciting and interesting for me.
Funniest, I think it was when the managing agent of the CCF, they brought the wrong batch of nationality people down, for a comm session. Yeah, it was supposed to be, I think, Bangladeshi, but they brought the Indians down and we didn't realize until when they were trying to communicate with each other. Yeah.
I think it was just fun times that we had during the breaks that we had at the CCF. And that was the time when we had a lot of bonding with all the doctors as well as nurses and all the admin and HR people involved as well.
Well, I think that maybe the funniest moments was how our team worked together. So it's like we created a lot of bond with one another. So the funniest moment is like every time post shift, we will try to share the class order is very tiring, but we will try to share and then voice out what's our thoughts of that days, those kinds. So at least there's emotional support with one another.
So for me, I would say it's probably fun moments, not really funny moments, but it was really fun doing one of the serology session with Dr. Lydia Au, one of my ex-consultant in medicine. So because she's a very, very funny person, so she made the whole serology experience very enjoyable and interesting from all the jokes that she has cracked throughout the session.
Hi, for me, the most funniest is the communication with the workers. Because of the language barrier, sometimes we really have to use sign language. So I remember during the registration, we are not allowed to touch their work permit cards. So when we wanted to scan the barcode, so when we asked them to turn over the cards, so they don't understand, they actually turn around. So I think this is the funny part to communicate with them, yeah.
I think there was once that while preparing for the opening day, we stayed all the way until 9 p.m. just folding scrubs all the way throughout.
Okay, my funniest moment in ICU was every time we finish our work, we need to take a bath, but the water in the bathroom is 4 types. very cold, very hot, hot, very, very hot. It's difficult to take a bath during that time.
Funniest moment? Don't really have any funny moment.
I think fun moments.
Yeah, fun moments. You know, when we hang out with the other ops IC and other people in Jurong Health, and we crack a lot of jokes. Even when working in quite a serious environment, you know, I think we see the fun out of it.
Yeah, I think especially at the command center, where we do more of the prep work and stuff. I think just the dynamics and the camaraderie is quite good. Yeah, so it makes it enjoyable.
Oh, my funniest moment, I remember I accompanied a dorm commander to a toilet in the dormitory during one of my assignments in Tuas View. I think that is the most funniest and that's the most amazing because when first time I was landed up in the dorm in the Tuas View, I look at the toilet, yes, but no choice, and that is my breakthrough, I think.
The funniest moment when I was in the serology team in one of the dorm, we had a lot of foreign workers and they were actually really taking their sweet time walking towards us for registration, and we have to literally rush them to run to us for registration because there were about more than 1,000 over foreign workers for us to register.
How did you stop yourself from going to the toilet while wearing PPE when working non-stop with COVID-19 patients?
Oh, in isolation ward, every time we go into the patient's room, right, we need to degown and doffing inside the patient's room itself because we have empty room. So we no need to wear all the way to wear the full gown, full PPE because every patient, full PPE.
Because patient stay in a single room, so we will wear the PPE, and then when we come out from the patient room, we will remove the PPE inside the patient room except the mask. So I think the toileting problem we not have any issue. But it's quite busy lah, so we won't drink much. We cannot go break on time. So that one.
Try to drink less water, so we avoid going toilet and then burn off all the PPE. Yeah.
For myself is that whenever during we have any break times, if when there's any break time, we'll just go to the washroom. So before that, and then you just minimize the water taking so that at least it will feel better and you can minimize the donning of the gown on and off.
Before I take over from the morning nurse, I'll just tell them, let me go to the toilet first. I don't know what time I'm going to come out from the room. So just give me 10 minutes, let me clear myself and then I come and take over. Yeah, so within 10 minutes, I'll just go to the toilet and then for the rest of my shift, I'll stuck inside patient's room.
Yeah, actually same applies for me too, but for me, I'll try to hold it, until I finish my task in the room, and then I will when I finish my task in the room, I will quickly tell my colleagues that, oh, can you help me to see my patient? And I will quickly go to the toilet, So that was not a problem for me.
Yeah, when I was in PPE, because normally we report in the morning, so I make sure that I don't drink any waters. Yeah, so an empty bladder when I report to Enting Phong, then follow when reach the door, first thing rush to the toilet and empty myself and throughout the whole day.
When I was in the serology team, I had to report to NUH. Before I even board the bus, I had to make sure I empty my bladder. When I reached the dorm itself, we will go and empty one more time before I don my PPE. After that, throughout, it will be during lunchtime. Okay,
so I try to drink lesser water before donning. And the night before also.
Train your bladder muscles.
I just keep it in lah. I remember that time the night before I had mala xiangguo, Then the next day, so no choice you just don't want to go to the toilet before your full PPE, so you just maintain.
I have usually am fine because I think the period is very short. Yeah, so just go toilet before and after. Yeah, it's not an issue for me because I don't eat mala xiangguo.
So before going for the duties, I already know from other colleagues the situation and the situation in the dormitories. So I just refrain from taking fluids before the duties so that I can prevent myself from going to the bathroom. Yeah, so that I can last for long hours in the PPE.
Yes, same goes for me. So I will refrain myself from drinking a lot of water. And also, before we take the bus, we will go toilet first. Then just before we touch down, we will try to go toilet. Then after once you put on the PPE, then we will hold it all the way. Yeah.
What is one thing you dislike about the whole COVID-19 pandemic?
Pandemic. Cannot go home.
Cannot go home, yes.
Cannot go home. Because we are foreigner. So we are outsider.
Yeah.
So we cannot travel back to Malaysia. Some more, both of us, we already have kids. So we cannot go back lah.
Yeah, we cannot go back to Malaysia, and then COVID-19 itself, I don't like. It's giving us too much of pressure, not only to nurses, I think all our community also. Yeah.
Having to wear masks all the time. Yeah.
Not being able to travel overseas.
The donning of PPE, that was wearing PAPR was very tiring. I disliked it the most.
Yeah, for me also, although ICU is an aircon unit, but wearing double layer gown was not easy for me. Yeah, so it was not very comfortable.
One thing I dislike about the COVID-19 pandemic is, the mask you need to wear, especially at the start, it can be quite uncomfortable. And you are not used to wearing the mask for a long period of time. So I think for a start, that was one of the most uncomfortable part about this operation.
I think for me, it's like when I first went in and knowing that everyone's stuck inside their rooms, right? As a physiotherapist, my first thought is like, 完了, because when they come back out, like they will start having all the musculoskeletal problems, and then you'll get more referrals again. Yeah, that was my first thought when I went in.
I would think is the impact that this whole pandemic has caused for everyone in the world. I think there are a lot of unfortunate events, unfortunate deaths. Our lives were being affected. Many things were being put on hold. The financial situation globally has been affected as well. I think all that is the main consequences that I really feel quite sorry about.
For me, during more on the DOMS ops, for the sterile side, there's not much of dislike, more on my mindset of contributing back to the society, how I can contribute as a healthcare worker.
It's like, I think basically I like everything, especially we got a lot of nice foodies.
My dislike in the dormitory is actually the toilets, because we will literally have to use the gents' toilet, and then and they convert it into a ladies' toilet, so it was a bit uncomfortable actually.
What did you do to relax and distress during the pandemic?
Me, I explore Singapore because every time before, if we got like off day 3 days, I think both of same, because we always go back. So now the time for me to explore Singapore, go hiking, jogging, all the outdoor activities with my friends lah.
Yeah, now it's more bonding with the working colleagues, because previously we very frequently travel, but now it's more bonding with our working colleagues.
Inside ICU, there's no activity. Okay, I will order food. So that's something I enjoyed. Bubble tea, cheesecake during break. So me and my colleagues will just order whatever that we like and just relax ourselves.
Yeah, eating. Eating is definitely a way to cope.
One activity. That one is not an organized activity. It's like a colleague activity, which is TikTok. Yeah, during a free time only. Yeah, that's all.
For myself, if after like the phase 1, so whenever like post shift, I will go out with my colleagues as well. So it's like to share our thoughts and all. So that's a very relaxation moment for me. So that at least like we get to share our tough time together and all.
I think the favorite thing I like to do is probably doing surgery. So I take doing surgery, working as part of distress activity.
For me, is eat. After everything, I was eat. Because after we put on the PPE, after we don off the PPE, we will be very, very hungry. So for me, I just eat.
I guess ordering, food deliveries, for everybody.
I think listening to audio clips that has nature sounds, and then getting in touch with friends that are around me and whom I have not contacted in a long time. Yeah.
For me, we can't go out and do anything because of the circuit breaker, right? So I just stay at home and take a nap and sleep after each operation because it can be quite tiring.
Eat Hello Panda. Because at the command center there usually is, I'll just fight over it with the rest.
Drink bubble tea.
Actually, after our serology in the dorm, me and my colleague usually we will just walk out and then go to the coffee shop and then get our cup of tea and then reach home happily.
What is your comfort food during the COVID-19 period? How many times did you eat per week?
For me, because I stay with other housemates, we can cook at home. So if let's say we like craving for something, we can cook together. Then we eat together lah. Anything, just name it.
Cheesecake. At least twice a week. I'll order one entire cheesecake for myself.
Yeah, dessert and bubble tea. Yeah, so mostly it's dessert. Any dessert will do.
For us, like really whenever we like really thirsty and all, cause it's like quite hot weather, right? So we will just ask one another around. Then we will ask whether we want to order any drink. So all of us will like come together and then we order quite some of like drinks and all food. Then we can like share together also.
Oh, comfort food, fried chicken for sure. Yeah, at least once a week. Yeah.
Bubble tea. Thanks to my friends who also bought me at least like 2 or 3 times every week.
I would say I start to take more spicy food during the period. Yeah, so spicy food is my comfort food at that time.
For me, I don't have any particular comfort food. More on home cooked food.
My comfort food, I think is potato chips. Although I'm a dietitian, but I think I have to admit, the command center has, free flow supply of potato chips, which I help myself to quite a lot.
I would say Hello Panda, but but I think what cheers me up, I guess, is when Prof. Gerald treats us, and I think that one more comforting.
Comfort food is bubble tea and mango chicken. Yeah. How many times I eat per week? I think bubble tea during my CCF days, we drink like every other days. Yeah.
My comfort food was home cooked food. After my dormitory duties, when I reach home, I'm happy to sit on my dining table and have a plate of my own home cooked food.
Who did you depend on most during the COVID-19 pandemic?
I think COVID-19, this period, right, the team is very important, like the medical teams, the doctors, the infection control team, my working colleagues, and also my ward sister. So if there is a proper teamwork, means I think we can handle any hard situation also.
Depended on myself, because during this pandemic season in Port 5, there's only maybe 4 nurses taking care of 6 to 7 patients, and there'll be 1 RT, no assistant nurse. So let's say whenever I need to get something from the equipment room or maybe clean utility, I have to dig out myself, go out, get my stuff, and then come back in. That are bad days. Some good days, we have our colleagues outside, so we will just write on the board and they will get it for us. So I feel that most of the time I just depended on myself.
Yes, there were only a few staff when pandemic started in Port 5. So most of the time we actually struggle a lot taking things from outside the room, especially when there's like no one around. Everybody is like occupied with their own COVID patients. But we do, plan ahead as a team. Like, okay, if you're going into this room, maybe I try to stay outside, and after your task is done, then we will, try to rotate and try to leave one person outside the patient rooms as a floater if we needed anything. Otherwise, whoever we see outside will still try to wave them from isolation room and try to get help. Yeah.
For me as well, it's colleague, because you walk through the whole tiring shift together, so you will more or less know what is the main thing and what's the main point that you have to strike for that day itself and to achieve. Although like sometimes there's quite an overflow number of patients, but we really have to come together in order to ensure that our patient safety and patient comfort is not neglected for that.
Probably my colleagues lah, because they had to sort of cover me also. Yeah.
I guess during the COVID-19 period, friends and family really showed a lot of support, and you really get to treasure them more. Yeah.
I would say I probably depend most on my wife. Yeah, because during the COVID period, it was a very stressful period for all of us. I'm worried that I will carry virus and spread to the family, spread to my loved ones. So I think she has provided a lot of support for my whole family, for me as well.
Who I depend on the most? Can I say Hui Ying? No, because she's my second IC. I guess she helps. We are co-IC, so she does help me quite a bit. We help each other, I guess, quite a bit in the preparation work, and when we are not around, we help each other.
I think similar. But other than Jian-Ming, I think it's the people who are like in the command center lor. So like Perry, Jean, whoever, we just when on the ground there's something that we lack, right? We just text or call, right? Then people will just answer. Yeah, which is very helpful lah.
Yeah, I agree. I think they are quite unsung, in this pandemic, because they do help us quite a lot in the back end kind of stuff.
During the pandemic, of course, being the frontliner is not easy because we all, for myself, I have a family, so I really depend God that is really taking care of me and my family when the period are away.
Before I leave my home, I usually do my prayer, and I always pray that I don't bring back the virus to my loved ones. So yeah, I always do my prayers before I leave home.
Name one thing which is most important or valuable to you during the COVID-19 pandemic besides PPE, and why?
For me, it's like teamwork and friendship, because for the consider friendship among, because we cannot go travel, the teamwork, because every one of us at the initial part we really scared to go in, fear, because we don't know how to handle the pandemic, the COVID. Then after that we try to overcome it. After we see the progress about the patient, then we feel like satisfied. So maybe the teamwork lah among us, because we try
I
to
can
work.
say also.
Yeah. Most important thing, to key in your temperature twice a day.
Yeah, yeah, that one is important.
Otherwise, need to write memo.
Write memo.
Otherwise, we need to write memo. So yeah, you said can funny.
Hand hygiene and showering before going back home. That was very important for us, because some patients, they are COVID positive. Some patients, initially first test, second test, third test, negative. Then finally the fifth test will be positive. So I feel that, do not take any chances. Shower before going home. Yeah, and hand hygiene. You never know where are all these viruses, sticking to. The entire Port 5, we felt that it was dirty. So hand hygiene was very important for us.
Yeah, infection control is very important for us, especially pandemic period. And inside the room, outside the room, even when you are charting your things and your for example, like Elco station, where you do your documentation. Even for me, I like to clean everywhere before I start my shift, and also try to keep my personal belongings in the locker, yeah, so that I will have like minimized contact with everything, and I do not want to bring it back to my home, yeah.
Off day. Really need an off day and leave. Yeah. Really need an off day and leave. Yeah. Because it's like, even though it's like a normal hour of shift, but the workload and the staffing is like, we deserve an off day. Yeah.
Yeah. For myself, it will be my family lah. So at least like I get to have a time to spend with my family. Although there might be like some fear that we might have passed the COVID or anything, those kind of things. But then with family members' supports, that's also like really a good encouragement for us to continue to work on.
Most valuable, I would say, is to be able to still keep my job and still being able to work and serve the community. Yes, because during this period, I think there are many people around who have lost their jobs, who are unable to be as fortunate as us, who are still able to work on a daily basis to be able to provide care for the the patients who need us.
For me is bathing, because after we done off, I will make sure that I will bathe and before I go back home. So once I reach home, I will bathe again to make sure that I'm thoroughly clean and prevent spreading any virus to my family and also to the public as well. Yeah.
I guess it's my phone lah. Cause we had to remain contactable. Yeah.
For me, I think it's the Grab app. Because you can use it to get your deliveries and get transport.
My phone, because when you call ambulance, I need to have my phone with me. Yeah.
Most important is to bathe. Yeah, bathe every time we are done, after donning off the PPE.
The most important was the motivational words from Prof. Daniel when we were at the serology team. Even though we were with our PPE, we were sweating and feeling so uncomfortable, but he was always around us, cheering us up and saying that we are actually doing a very good job. So it was actually very motivational for us to move on.
Give one word to describe your experience working in this COVID-19 pandemic. One word.
Very stressful, not peaceful.
Not peaceful, yeah, because we really scared until now. Because even like say patient already negative after the second swab, but sometimes for the reinfection, then we don't know how sure, we don't know about the patient status lah actually.
Stressful because we don't know, because there is no medication for this COVID-19, and then don't know how long it will be. So when is the ending, we don't know anything about the ending, so it's a bit stressful.
Memorable because there's like no such chance to. This is our first time experiencing this such pandemics, so it's like, although it's very tiring and all, like throughout the whole shift with the PPE and all, and then fear like we might get COVID as well. But we know that although got PPE, we for sure we will not get COVID lah. But it's just a good experience, and then from this pandemic wise as well, our bonds with our colleagues also gain because we just joined not long as well. So it's like we get to know each other more well, and then how you work with your team members.
Insightful?
I would say grateful.
Sense of satisfaction.
I think it's the word will be teamwork. I think, although I think it's oversaid, but I think we have to keep saying that, I think we work together as a team really well. We overcome this together, and it's because of this teamwork that caused this thing to be less painful and help us and drive us along the way.
I think for me it's unforgettable. I think like the kind of dynamic that we have, like all the different personalities, the different strengths that we bring to the table is really rare lah. Yeah, so I'm very thankful for it. Yeah, even though we say one word, but
Valuable.
I was very proud to be part of the team.
We thank all staff for your effort and contribution towards the fight against COVID-19. We thank the staff who were brave enough to be featured in this video. There was no pre-preparation for this video, and the questions were only posed to them during the interviews. Their candid answers gave insight into what they went through in the course of this pandemic. On behalf of the COVID-19 Staff Appreciation Committee, we hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Huyin and I'm also a physiotherapist at GCH during COVID, I guess. Do I just continue? Okay.
The fun part more on the teamwork and the coordinations of the team, because although we don't know each other, but it stands that we can get along very well. I think that's the best part.
Is it boring at your room?
没有出去嘛
So this encouraging.
好戏在后头，
好戏在后头啊。
还没有
Yeah,
not
okay,
yet, not
we
yet.
try to act. Okay. I think that for me maybe that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Most valuable. Cannot think of any leh.
Not the yeah, not the girlfriend.
No leh. Don't have.
Nothing is valuable to him.
TikTok, what do you do?
Me? The latest trend lah, like anything that the latest trend, the dance TikTok that we do.
Example?
Example. Example. No lah, need in a group like together, then we will do. Or not like individual.
What did you do?
need like someone to do with you, so you won't be shy. Yeah.
Must choose one person.
Yeah, a bit difficult.
Okay.
Like memorable or like wow, you did great.
Because you say one word.
全部 repeat 啦，哎呦。
Hi, I'm Lakshmi from SOC. I'm actually assigned to serology team, but before that I was also handling the screening station, and that's it, right?
Yeah. Okay, say one more time again.
Must edit, don't make us like a fool.
Even I also improv. That's
Oh,
all.
okay. I'm sweating already.
Most important thing during the pandemic is I make it sure I have disposable underwear. Give one word to describe your experience working this COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, because we need to take a bath every time, twice a year.
We hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you. Oh. Okay.